What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Love and Marriage DC Season 1, Episode 7. The episode is titled Monique in the Middle, you guys. So before we go ahead and jump into this episode, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, and you guys are not subscribed to the channel, then I need you guys to do me that solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on those post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Marriage DC, shall we? Alright, you guys, so this episode we open up, and I'm not trying to be shady by no means to Chris and Monique, but I can literally do without Chris and Monique, to be quite honest with you. Chris and Monique don't really bring much to the show. If we're being honest, they bring absolutely nothing to the show. So if they were to, not get their contracts renewed for season 2, I wouldn't be hurt. So this episode we see Monique, and she's getting ready. This is her first day going to work at the radio station, and this is Chris's first day taking care of the children without Monique there in the morning. Wasn't much to see. Literally wasn't much to see. So then we move over to Ashley. So Ashley, she's meeting up with her editor and her publisher. Her name is Audrey. So you guys know Ashley is writing her, I think it's like a self-help book, but it's not really a self-help book. It's kind of like a motive, like basically get your ass up and do the damn shit, basically. So they're talking about, the cover of Ashley's book and if Ashley's going to be on the cover. So Ashley is like, she doesn't necessarily think she doesn't. I will say one thing about Ashley. Ashley looked damn good when she was walking into that meeting with Audrey. I was like, yes, Ashley, you better do the motherfucking thing. So Ashley doesn't necessarily want to be on the cover of the book because I'm not gonna say she has a body issue, but I understood what Ashley was saying. Because for me, I don't like taking pictures right now myself either, because I don't feel like, what you see on what I see, I'm like, ugh, I don't like how that looks. So she talks about that. And then I also love the fact that in this scene, Ashley was very open about her, her mental health, about she deals with depression. And I love that she was open about that. I love that Ashley was open about her depression. It makes me like her a lot more. And then, she talked about her situation with Winter. The situation with Winter, which I think that shit is still currently going on. And I know that they recently filmed the reunion. I just don't know when that reunion is coming, but I know that they recently filmed the reunion for Love and Marriage DC. But you guys, I'm going to pause here and we're going to move forward. All right, you guys. So, again, Monique and Chris, they don't bring, for me, they don't bring much. They don't bring much. And I'm not saying that Monique and Chris have to have drama in their marriage, in their relationship. They're just not interesting to watch on this show. And like I've said in previous reviews, like I grew to like Monique in season 3 and 4 of Real Housewives of Potomac. But season 2 I didn't care for her. I just don't know. I don't know. And I think for me, the thing is, when it comes to Love and Marriage DC, and I've said this on numerous occasions, for Monique to be the center of this group, I don't understand how that's the case. When you look at the dynamics of the group, the two people who stand out the most to me, Ashley and Arena. So if this show was centered around Ashley and Arena and their friends, I can understand it. Like, let's be honest, when it comes to any of these reality shows, Real Housewives of Atlanta, that show, Nene was the one that brought everybody to the group. And you could see it because Nene has that personality. And the interesting thing about Potomac was it was Charisse that brought all the women together. And she's my least favorite. But when you think about like Real Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac, Married to Medicine, Love and Marriage Huntsville. The people that bring the show to bring the group together, they have a certain personality, and Monique doesn't have the personality that Nene Leakes has. She doesn't have the personality that Melody from Love and Marriage Huntsville has. She doesn't have the personality that, let's think, I can't do Potomac because Charisse is bland. She doesn't have the personality like Mariah Huck from Married to Medicine. She doesn't have that, and she doesn't have what they have, and I can't really describe what they have. But she just doesn't really have it. But it is what it is. So we see her and Chris. So they're talking about her first day at work, and Chris is talking about how, how he had a rough day with the kids. And it's like you think it's so easy seeing the mothers do it day in and day out, but then when the roles have to flip and you have to take care of those kids, it's like, oh damn, I didn't know you had to do it like this, so my head is off to you. That's why I think a lot of women, when they talking to their husbands about their kids, that when they say step up a little bit more, just help out, because they're they have to do so many things. They have to juggle so much stuff, especially when you have multiple children and they're all under a certain age. So yeah, it is what it is. So Arena and Jamie, you guys. So I didn't know that Arena and Jamie were TikTok famous. Shit, can y'all teach me a little bit something about TikTok? Because girl, I got a TikTok. I have a TikTok. I have not even been on TikTok since I created that TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok. I know not a damn thing about TikTok. So they talk about that intuitive healing session that they went to, and there's a wasp that just flew by. I hope it doesn't fly in this car. For the love of God, I hope it don't fly in this car. So, they were talking about the reading and how the woman kept reading bull. And I was like, oh, okay. I noticed that there was one word that we kept saying in this episode, aggressive. Because Arena called Jamie aggressive and a bully. And I kind of tweeted that he does come off as a bully and a little bit aggressive, but then I have to really sit and think about it. I don't necessarily think that he's a bully, and I don't think he's aggressive. What I think it is with Jamie is, I think that Jamie is, what is the word I want to say? I don't think he's aggressive, and I don't think he's a bully. I think he can be, he's stern. He's stern and he's strict. That's it. He's very stern and he's very strict. I think that's the best thing I can say about it. Because it's like he says things, and he says things in a particular way. Especially remember when he was dealing with their son, what is his name? Jason. He came off very strict and very stern. That's what he gives. And then Jamie's talking about how he was raised. And I noticed with Jamie and with Quick, they both talk about how their fathers raised them. And I hate to say it, but the way that y'all's fathers raised y'all, it sounds very toxic. And when I say toxic, I mean toxic in the form of a toxic masculinity, where they're not, and most men are not nurturers, but damn, the things that you have to be mindful of what you say to your children when you say things. But you guys, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But they good. They're gonna go back and see the intuitive healer. So you guys, I want to pause here and we're gonna move forward. So next up, you guys, we see Ashley. So Ashley is doing her photo shoot, and Monique stops by, with the mess. Now, Monique, when you sat there and said that, when she said, I want to look like Beyonce, she says, oh, you look better. Girl, what? Oh, no, we ain't doing that. So Ashley, Ashley's talking about how at this point now she's just doing things for herself, because in her 20s, all she pretty much was a mother and a wife. And now it's her time to shine and do things for Ashley. And I'm here for that. Monique, why did you have to really say, well, when I was in my 20s, I was just, basically all you said was that you and Chris was just traveling the world and having sex. So you just reducing yourself. So you just basically just reduce yourself to a piece of. You know what? It wasn't really funny to me, but okay. You know, Monique laughs at her own jokes, and I love a person that laughs at their own jokes. And then after that, Monique just went on this tirade about talking about herself. I'm like, that would annoy me. When we sit here talking about me, and then you flip it and talk about yourself, I'm like, are you done? Or are you done? No? Oh, okay. Whatever. So then, you know, Ashley talks about the title of her book. It's called Do That Shit. And Monique says, oh, I'm going to get a copy for Chris because, you know, I'm going to get the first copy for Chris because he needs that. I was like, damn, you just tear your husband down at every time, at any chance you get. You sound just like Tiffany. So you want me to sit here and believe that Chris, who was in the NFL, and you said at the reunion of Potomac season 5 that Chris has all these investments. So now you want me to sit here and believe that this man don't do shit? He just like a bump on a fucking log at this point? Y'all, I don't know what it is with Monique. So then Monique is talking about Winter. I was like, how did Winter come up, and why are we talking about Winter at this point? So Monique is talking to Ash, talking about, you know, she felt the way when Winter was coming up with the nicknames for Quick and for Jamie. And I was like, why do you care? Then I thought about it in my skull, in my brain. We came up with the reason why Monique is so pressed about this. Monique is still pressed about the fact that Giselle called Chris Samuels Big Boy. Because she said, I don't like when people make nicknames for my husband. Girl, Big Boy wasn't that big of a deal. Your issue is that you didn't have a comeback or a rebuttal for Giselle. That was the only thing, was that you didn't have a comeback or a rebuttal for her calling your husband Big Boy. Because that was not the end of the world. Because she calls Karen, what does she call Ray? She said some stuff about Ray, and Karen doesn't get upset. But you got upset about Big Boy. She calls Michael Crocodile. She's called Michael Crocodile Dundee. Ashley never got upset. You were the only one that got upset about the fact that Giselle called your husband Big Boy. It ain't that deep. And I'm so happy that when she told Ashley about Winter calling Quick DJ Fun Size, Ashley laughed. She said, that shit was funny. It was a little corny, but it was funny. I was like, thank you, Ash. I was so happy that Ashley laughed. Because Ashley at first said, am I going to slap the bitch? She said, what Winter bald-headed ass said? I was like, not Winter's bald-headed ass. I love, you know, I like Ashley, you guys. I do like Ashley. It took me a minute to get to like Ashley. I think what it is with Ashley is Ashley just says what she wants to say. And I'm the same way, but I have to learn how to say, you know, sometimes the things that you say, people can be like, they don't like how you said it. So be mindful of your audience. And I think that's what Ashley needs to do, is be mindful of her audience. So she said, you know, she called it Quick DJ Fun Size. She laughed at that. Then she told her about her calling Jamie the Red Light Special. It ain't that deep, Monique. You the only person that got an issue with it. But let's pause here, you guys, and move forward and wrap up the episode. So, you guys, next up we see Chris and Quicksilver. They hang out with each other. You guys, with Quick in his interview. Shout out to Quick and shout out to Ashley, because Quick and Ashley both liked my tweets and quote retweeted me. Well, not quote, but retweeted me. Quick quoted both of my tweets that I tweeted about him, and the first one was a little shady because his outfits in his interview look, his shirts be hugging him. I'm like, you couldn't go up like one more size? Just saying. So Quick and Chris are hanging out. They're talking. They're getting a foot massage. So Chris is talking about how stressful it is with switching roles with Monique. You know, she's out there working and he's at home with the kids. And that's something that him and Quick bonded on. They didn't really realize how hard it was until they actually had to step into the role that their wives do. And they feel like their eyes have been opened. Okay. So then they talk about the intuitive, you know, when they went there. And honestly, Quick says he's an emotional person. He just doesn't cry. He didn't cry at his mother's funeral. And I think that's I think that crying can be quite therapeutic, you know. Crying doesn't You know, most people look at crying as a sign of weakness, but it doesn't really mean that you're weak. It's just you just letting all that hurt, all of that sadness, you just letting it all wash away. That's how I feel when it comes to crying. Because bitch, I'll cry in a heartbeat. I will cry in a heartbeat. I'll cry when I think about my mother and my grandmother. I ain't got no problem with crying, but I really do want quick to sit down with somebody and just unpack that. Especially what his dad told him, men don't cry. Nigga, we have tear ducts for a reason. There's a reason that you have tear ducts. Cry. It's okay. So then we see Arena and Ashley. They went for her booty consultation. Arena, girl, you look good. You don't need no big booty. I mean, you already got, I mean, when she took that robe off, I was like, I knew Arena's boobs were big, but damn, I didn't realize they were that big. Arena looks good. So the doctor tells her, you know, she doesn't have a lot of fat, so the results won't be as dramatic as she would want them to be. So then I realized what it is. She looks at social media, and I'm glad that I wish Ashley had said this to her in the scene, but she was like in her interview, you know, people put things on social media, and what you see on social media is not always 100% a person's life. And I had to learn that too, because there is someone that I follow on social media, and I see him doing a lot of things, but I know him personally, and I know that he has his, you know, he has his things that, you know, goes wrong in his life. And it's no, I can't go too deep into the particulars, but, well, actually, I could tell you guys, but I don't want to. It's very personal. Because when I look at his social media, I'd be like, damn. I'm not going to put my business out there. Because I'll be thinking something, but I'm not going to tell you. I may tell you guys at one point. I might tell you guys one day about this situation. It's not a bad situation, but whatever. Let's move on. So Ashley told Arena about the nicknames. Now Arena didn't really like it. I can get why Arena didn't like it because of that story that she told Winter. I get that. I can get that. So then you guys, the last part of the episode, we see Winter and Arena. They sit down. Winter says that, you know, she was just basically just talking to Monique. It wasn't any malice or anything like that. And she feels like Monique took that and flipped it. Do I believe that? Semi. So then Arena, she brought up the nicknames, and I do agree with Arena. I mean, like, I agree with Arena with Jamie. I told you a story. Why would you then go back and repeat that? If me and you are having a private but then again, it is on camera, so I don't know. But Arena, as Winter, has her relationships fucked her up. And that was the end of the episode, you guys. So let me know what you guys thought about it. Please get down in the comments and let me know what you guys thought about it. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications. Share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Social distance, you guys. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys later. So, you guys, I still got to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta and Love Match Atlanta. And those two will be up sometime today. Whew. I'll see you guys later.